Yo, what up everybody, it's your boy DeadSilentReview, aka Trin, and today I'm going to be reviewing Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. It's going to be my first review. Hopefully y'all like this so I can do more. If not, it is what it is. I'm just trying to start something new here. If it goes well, I might do another one regardless of what y'all say. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this review. Alright, so CTR was one of those games I wanted a remaster for, just like everyone else when the Insane Trilogy dropped, and then it was reinforced when the Reignited Trilogy for Spyro dropped. So when the Game Awards came around and the trailer for this dropped, I was one of those people who completely lost it. And I've got to say, I was not expecting all the things that were in this game to be in this game. I was expecting a recreation of Crash Team Racing. I gotta be honest, I was expecting Nitro Kart and Tag Team Racing to be represented, but in DLC, not in the base game. You know, it just, to me, it made the most sense to do if you wanted to make money off of this game. But that wasn't not the case. They said, you know what, we're just going to give you everything. CTR, CNK, and CTTR coming soon. How soon? I don't know yet. But all I know is they need to go ahead and hurry up. We got people out here complaining about how there's not too many females. Just go ahead and bring those extra two right on in. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out. But seriously, this game has a lot of content in it right now, and there's only more to come. And I'm going to be going through all the content available now, what is coming, and what I want to see, and what could possibly be coming into the game. So that being said, let me go ahead and get into this single player experience for all my peoples out there. So, starting off strong with Adventure Mode, since that's the main mode people are going to be playing. Adventure Mode is exactly what you remember it to be if you're a veteran player. And for new players, Adventure Mode is essentially where you go to get the main story of Crash Team Racing. Nitrous oxide comes in the picture, tells you, hey, I want to race. Go ahead and run me that vehicle fade, or I'm gonna turn your planet into a parking lot. For who? I don't know. Who's gonna come through this sector of the galaxy to park? Anyway, so in order to race him, you gotta race the bosses to get keys, and to get those keys, you gotta race the area to get trophies. And that's essentially just the story. You get trophies to race bosses to get keys. Now, unlike in the past, the Nitro-Fueled has two modes. You have Classic Mode for those veterans who want to play a faithful remaster, and Nitro-Fueled for those of us who want a little bit more with our game. What I mean by that is Nitro-Fueled mode offers the option of customization on the spot. And when I say on the spot, I do mean legitimately just on the spot. As you can see, you hit go, press pause, go to customization, bada boom. You got all these characters available for you off rip, no hassle. Literally just change it to Coco right now, like it's nothing. And as you saw, each character has skins or different costumes and recolors that they got going on. Carts have skins or wraps, paint jobs, whatever you want to call them, to really make these characters and carts your own, which to me is dope. That's another thing about CT nitro-fueled that really makes it its own kind of game. It has so many customization options going on right now. Again, there's only more to come, and I find that very interesting. And if it wasn't clear enough for you, the game is gorgeous. So you kind of see me taking my time driving through each section of the hub world because I want y'all to see how detailed and how loved for this game is, because each hub world is so unique and so detailed and so beautiful, with just subtle sun placements, shadings, lighting effects. It has a whole lot going on for it. It's all just beautiful. Crash Cove, Papu's Temple that we just went through, Blizzard Buff, I think that would be, I'm not too sure, and of course Gemstone Valley, I believe. I forget the names of these areas, but you get what I'm trying to say. And of course I have to say my favorite, I still like Crash Cove over this, but it's my second favorite, Cortex's Castle. The lighting effects here are insane. When you drive outside, the red sky, it's literally sun down or sunrise. I'm just gonna go with sundown because, you know, it's seeable, so it'll be arriving at nighttime at any point, but you get what I'm trying to say. Each area looks fantastic. They really put a lot of detail into these levels, a lot more than the original had going for it, but that was due to limitations. So with those limitations finally gone, they could really go ham on the graphical detail. Now I do have to give it a bit of a down because it is locked at 30 frames per second, and I really wish it wasn't, but it's a necessary sacrifice so that you can get the most out of each effect going. You don't wanna, I'd rather have it locked at 30 frames than have frame rate drops constantly. So it's a necessary sacrifice. And speaking of detail, if you are not a fan of the new music, you just go to press options, go to audio, and you can turn the legacy audio on for that classic feel. Yeah, you hear that? It's that classic joint right there. And you know what? Hold on. Just to fit the classic motif that I got going on right now, let me go ahead and really take it back for you real quick. And there it is right there. There it is right there. Pure classic. So that way, for all of you who want to play classic mode, you can really feel like the game is just the classic game with a new coat of paint. I think this was a pre-order bonus for anybody who pre-ordered the Nitrous Oxide edition. You got these retro skins. So if you really want a retro feel with the Nitrous Oxide edition, that's all I'm saying. Does it kind of kill the whole adventure mode last boss purpose? Kind of, but it shouldn't matter. This is dope as hell. But in all seriousness, adventure mode has a lot going for it right now. Will they include the Nitro Kart story mode? I'm not too sure. I would love it if they did, just to thicken the amount of content for offline players even more, and have an alternative way to unlock the boss characters from Nitro Kart instead of having them use the shop knowing they can't. So if that was the plan from the jump, considering the fact that offline players can't really earn a lot of Wappa coins, they can't even use the pit stop, which I'll get into later in the video when I'm talking about the online mode. because they gotta go hand in hand. But if that was the plan, then that's dope as hell. If not, y'all should really consider it, Beanox. So shout out to Beanox who did all of this. They really outdid themselves with this, so I'm very happy with the product that I got. So for that, on that front, it was really dope of them to do this. They really went out their way to make this game look gorgeous in every way, shape, and form. Speaking of Nitro Kart, this is one of them Nitro Kart maps. Again, was not expecting Nitro Kart to really be represented, because in my opinion, Nitro Kart is not necessarily the weaker. No, it's not the weaker. CTTR is the weaker one, but it's kind of like the. I'm trying to explain it the best way possible, but to me, Nitro Kart was an attempt at rehashing the old while trying to bring in some new. And while at first it didn't necessarily fail at that, it just was like they tried really hard to make the new, like the old new, and they kind of dropped the ball on it because the old style was way better. They really didn't do much to make the new style different. But what they tried to add to it was kind of getting in the way of what they were trying to keep the same. You get what I mean? It's in the sense of like they tried to have the drift mechanic be the same while at the same time trying not to make it feel like a carbon copy. You know, and in their attempt to not be a carbon copy, they essentially just, you know, made it a carbon copy. It's hard to explain how I personally felt about it, because it narrows down to this. It didn't feel like CTR for the most part, because the drifting was a bit more, I want to say stiff, in my opinion. It didn't feel as satisfying. I think that's like the main point. CTR literally took out the satisfying part while trying to keep they kept the mechanic, took out the satisfying parts of the mechanic. That's essentially where I'm going with. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. But aside from CTR being represented, CTTR, or Crash Tag Team Racing, will be represented soon, as said by a creative director for the game. I think it was a creative director. I forget the role that these people play, but they did say that CTTR was going to be represented. I don't know when and I don't know how, but the only thing that I can come to is that the maps, all the maps, if not one of them, will be in the game as soon as, I guess, the other Grand Prix are done, which are coming out July 3rd, which I'm excited for because my girl Tana's coming to the game. But the main point, the main thing about CTTR that I'm more concerned about is what characters are coming, which means that if you know CTTR, then you know who's in the game. The only characters that I can think of that actually matter are Nina, Pasadena, and Von Clutch. We already got Crunch, we already got Engine, we already got Tiny, I think he was in the game, I don't even remember. We already got Coco, we got everybody at this point. Who else can come into the game? I'll save that for after the online portion, but damn, this is crazy. I'm not good at editing, so I can't really. I didn't really write a script for this. I'm going literally out of the top of my head, so that's why I'm kind of spewing words out as I go along while watching the race as it happens, and I'm just sitting here bewildered at how fast I'm going. Speaking of that, you know what? I can kind of get into the driving mechanics real quick. The driving mechanics are still the same. they're just as satisfying as they were back in 1999, considering I was 3 at the point. Like at that point, 1999, for those who were able to play this game, was 2002 for me. So they're just as satisfying as they were back then. They really hammer home the fact that this is still a CTR game. This is not a CTR CNK game. This is CTR with CNK levels and CNK characters. You won't find any anti-gravity from CNK, and you definitely won't be finding any tag teaming from Tag Team Racing. You're getting Crash Team Racing here. And if that's the game you were looking for, that's the game you're getting, no matter what. And I've got to say, it's so good to see this style of karting back, because Mario Kart is great and all, but boosting in that game is not satisfying at all. It's just, you hold it down, you hold down drift and hope that you don't get hit before you can let off. But in this game, I get more control over my boost, you know? If I need a quick boost, I get that. If I need a better boost, I can just time it at the perfect way, you know what I'm saying? I can perfectly time it. That's what I want to word that. Not that Mario Kart is bad in any way, shape, or form. It's just in that aspect of boosting, I prefer this style over that. I'm really sorry I'm rambling. This is how I do videos. It's just my way. All right. And now we can get into the online portion, because that clip is coming up next. I'm so sorry. No one's ever gonna I'm gonna get better. I really am. I don't know how some of you reviewers write scripts for these. Y'all can lend me some tips, please do. But online, I have to say my only 2 issues with online have barely anything to do with Beanox. Like, at all. It has to do with the player base. And it's not even that bad, to be honest. My main issue is this. I want this game to blow up. I want this game to have the same kind of energy that Mario Kart has, in the sense that its sense of community is way too strong. That's what I want, but it's not what I'm gonna get, because there's a whole lot of factors that are keeping this game from, not a whole lot, actually just 2. There's 2 factors in this game that are kind of keeping it from being that way. First off, don't rank mode. The reason why I say that is because when you get into hop into a game, the fact that you don't know how to play the game properly will show. And the fact that there's a proper way is baffling. The proper way is you have to be able to boost and keep that boost for the entirety of the match, while still being faster than your opponents. And if you're not good at that, you're going to get left in the dust. And it's kind of hard to do that if you have no clue how to keep your boost up, if you don't know what characters are best for it, or just what playstyle is best for you to do so. Not only that, right? If somebody were to see something like crunch that I got, or the cart that I have, and they think to themselves, man, that has to be a factor, and try to get it, although the carts really don't do anything, they need to get Wampa coins. Even if they just think it'll help, they have to get Wampa coins. And the thing about Wampa coins is, when playing online, Wampa coins are pretty fluctuating. The only reason why I said that and I horribly segued into the Wampa coins is because pit stop clip is coming up. Anyway, Wampa coins in this game are used for pit stop. Think Fortnite, but better and worse. Because while it's better that no matter what you buy, all the things stay in the pit stop. There is no disappearing from the pit stop. Getting Wampa coins, it's a bit weird, and the pit stop isn't available to offline players. That's the big thing. But getting Wampa coins is kind of weird because if you're not playing certain levels during the weekends, or just there's certain racetracks at all, you're not going to get the most amount of Wampa coins, especially online. The online functionality, that's where the Wampa coins really fluctuate, because you'll get either 600 Wampa coins in one race and then 20 in another, and you wouldn't be able to tell which is how, because there is no real how. The numbers fluctuate and change all the time. So I may sit here and get, I don't know how many Wampa coins I get this race, but I may sit here and get, like I said, 600 in this race right here, and then I do another race and I get 20 or 40. I would literally get asked out on Wampa coins and just be like, well, how does this work necessarily? How can I finesse this? Because farming Wampa coins to get everything, people have done it in 24 hours. Bitch, I think it's been about a week for me and I still don't have everything. What are y'all doing? Let me know. But it's, if Beanox can address that, if Beanox can add different kind of modes, like a ranked mode, or a jeez, I don't know what else. What other mode I was thinking about when I've been thinking about this for a while, like what other modes could there possibly be in this game? Because for online, because there's not really a lot. There's rank mode, clear, for all these speedrunners out there. Would there be a time trial mode, I guess? Just to have your online, just to have the online community post their best times? I don't know. I really don't. But in rank mode would be nice for those players. I guess. No, I'm not gonna. I don't wanna. Here's the thing. I was just about to say an idea that I had, but I don't want to, because I don't want to seem dumb, you know. But the whole point is, if the game had more online features for those who, you know, just want to play the game casually with friends, they do have a private mode. They do have a private mode for friends, but I mean for like casual players, you know, people who really don't know or just want to learn, get better. Ironic, I said I get 600 in. That's exactly what I got. They had different modes for it. I don't know what I'm thinking of when I'm saying that, but if they had more, like you had the rank mode for the casuals, not rank mode for the casuals, a rank mode for those players who really take this game seriously, and a casual mode for those who just want to, you know, have some fun with all randoms online. Of course, they have private mode for your friends. If they had a little bit more going for it as far as options, I think that'd be really cool, you know. I mean, they got time trial, so I don't see why not. Grand Prix, there you go. I knew I was thinking of something. I know they're gonna have Grand Prix for online as a whole, but what I mean when I say Grand Prix is like, instead of having it be like, okay, you do just race by race by race, you can set up not only in private mode, but have a Grand Prix, or select a Grand Prix, or a cup, essentially a race cup to be in. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, I'm not explaining this in the best way possible. So it's essentially the same thing as when you're going into local arcade and you select a cup race, and you select what cup you want to race, whether it be the Crash Cup, the Nitro Cup, you know, something like that. And that way, you play the cup. Once you're done with all 4 races in that cup, you get the whole victory cinematic, whatever you call it, the podium stance, whatever I forget what it's called. I'm sorry, but you get what I mean, right? We get to the podium, you're celebrating the podium celebrations. There you go, the victory celebration screen. That person, the people who placed on podium get the most amount of Wampa coins possible. They still collect Wampa coins during the races, but like, okay, so let's say I win the entire cup, right? So throughout my races, I've been collecting, I want to say like 20, 40, 60, 80. Last race I collect 100. When you get to the podium, it's official that you've won. You get 1,000 Wampa coins, or 2,000 Wampa coins, maybe 5,000 Wampa coins. Better yet, the higher the I think, I'm not sure if this is true, but they do have tiers for each map on this game. So the higher the tier maps, the higher the big reward is. So say all the high tier maps, you get 5,000 Wampa coins for winning the cup, 2,500 for placing second, and 1,000 for placing third. Whereas for low tier, you get 1,000 for placing first, 500 for placing second, and 100 for placing third. You know, something like that. Just something like that. You know, I think that'd be interesting for online, especially. Really lets people, both casual and competitive, really have a chance to just shine. You know, just a food for thought, Beanox. No need to credit me for my idea. No, but in all seriousness, I do think something like that would be cool. I'm sorry it took me a while to get it out. I was literally thinking of it as I was saying it. I'm sorry. But all in all, I have to say this game is fantastic. I would definitely suggest y'all pick it up and show us some love. Make sure you'll show Beanox some love. Hopefully they do add more things to it. Very excited to see where this game goes, because I want to be a part of the just the fandom for this game. I really want to be, essentially I want Beanox to look at me and say, hey, we want you to come out here, you know, we want to meet you, we want to do, you know what I'm saying, we just want to talk. We just want to talk. I just want Beanox to recognize me, because I really love this game. I want everybody in the community, hopefully, to recognize that I'm about this game life. You dig what I'm saying? I'm about this CTR life. You know. That sounds really shallow, but I'm really not trying to sound that shallow. I'm just trying to make some friends. You dig? I just want people to see me and say, "Hey, what's up, man?" You know what I mean? But with that being said, it's been your boy Silent Trent, aka Trent. This review is all over the place, but I'll get better. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.